Is this embarrassing? Yes. Is it awkward? Yes.
No, bitch, it wasn't awkward until you made it awkward by saying awkward.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Awkward.
Social podcast.
That's a really good song. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Awkward Social Podcast. My name is Jose Chavez. Thank you so much for downloading this episode. It's just me by myself. It's my solo episode, 2019. Yay. Technically, I'm not by myself. I have two cats here with me, and they're being very fucking annoying right now. So if you hear them in the background, I apologize. One might make a cameo. You never really know, because Coco's kind of an asshole that way. I named her after Conan O'Brien, not Cocoa Puffs. Although I should have done that. It'd be easier to explain. Anyhow, hi. It's 2019. So excited. It's the new year. # something. And I want to know, how was your New Year's? Great to hear. Really like that one. That was a good one. If you're listening to this episode, which hopefully you are, hi. If you're watching the video on YouTube or some kind of other social medias, hellos. Hi. I'm sorry for my face. I apologize. This is as good as I can get. I did hire a whole crew to try to make me look beautiful. I was even going to wear a tie with this ensemble, which would have looked really stupid. I would have been that guy who's like, oh, look at me. I'm so professional. Check it out, guys. Business casual. T-shirt with a tie. But then I made that stupid joke out loud, and I hated myself very much for it, so I walked away from me. So this is as good as it gets. Apologies. Yes. So my 2019, my New Year's Eve, had a bit of a rough start. I went to a party at my godfather's, who I've only seen twice in the last 10 years-ish. Something like that. So he's a great guy. I knew him growing up. He was a positive male influence in my life that I sorely needed, but he wasn't around very often, so it's like I could only get little by little from him. He's since, gotten married, had kids, and started this whole life, so he invited us out as a family to go see him. Now, I'm the only one that showed up from my family. So there was a room full of strangers that I didn't know any of them. And they sit me down at the table with this little family. It's this, I guess, another stranger who didn't know anybody there, his wife and two kids. And they used to be like old colleagues or something. And it's very uncomfortable because the parents are just watching their kids, eating food and not drinking. And my uncle comes up to me, or my godfather, comes up to me and says, hey, would you like some bit of drink? And I said, no, thank you. I'm good. Maybe some water, soda. And he insisted on it. He was being a gracious host. That's what was going on. So he was trying to let me know, hey, feel free to be comfortable here. You don't have to worry about, if you want to have a drink, have a drink. It's totally fine. That was the kind of thing he was going for, which made me feel a little peer pressured. But I did accept, and I said, all right, I will take some whiskey if you have it. He comes back and puts a bottle of Crown Royale right in front of me, and then he just goes, all right, great, enjoy it, and he walks away. Which is then weird because now I'm the only person drinking at this table, and at least a third of us or 2/3 of us is children. And I thought I was going to be funny. I thought it'd be like a nice icebreaker because I didn't really know how to speak with these people. I'm not very good at socializing. Yeah, that's what you'll come to find out if you haven't already listened to the audio version of this podcast. I'm not so super great at talking to people, and I thought I was gonna have a funny icebreaker. I poured myself some whiskey, and then I looked over at one of the kids, the one that was closest to me, and I offered her some. Like, would you like something? And she's like, no. And then I just kind of looked over. I was like, ha, 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 I'm being silly. And the dad was kind of like, The wife was not having it. So I did not make best friends that night. They were very uncomfortable around me, or at least I was uncomfortable around them. And it was just kind of weird because I'm sitting there eating my food by myself while the mariachi's playing over here. And I recognized none of the songs because they didn't play a single song from the soundtrack Coco. And so that was very hard to follow. But it was also, everybody looked kind of like a version of a relative of mine. So like this person looked like my uncle, my aunt, my cousin, but I didn't know any of them. And I just said, all right, I'm just going to enjoy myself, be here for a while, and find an excuse to leave. Mostly just the desperation of the insecurity that I was experiencing. And there's a thing that I've noticed that at least I noticed last night is there was a lot of drunk uncles and a lot of drunk dads, which is pretty much the same depending on whether you're the son or the nephew. But there were a lot of them, and they were communicating with one another in like while they were singing and making fun of each other in a very polite way. And that's when I found out that a lot of those people there did not know one another. I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the person in the oddball table. I wasn't the guy at table 9. I was just one of many people who were all kind of coming together for the first time. But I don't have that instinct in me to be able to commiserate with everybody in that way. I don't have that camaraderie gene where I'm just like, I'm too going to yell out something funny that's going to go along. Because if I say something, it's going to be awkward. Because they're making fun of the women that are singing, kind of interrupting the mariachi to add in their own lines or to, sing along because they know the song. And the guys are just yelling things in Spanish like, oh, tell her to be quiet. This isn't karaoke night and things like that. If I had shouted something, I would have for sure said, yeah, she's not that good at singing. And it would have ruined the evening. And that lady would have hated me more so than the family who did not like the fact that I offered their underage children drinks. By the way, one of my New Year's resolutions, cut back on soda and 11 a.m. on January 1st. So, fuck it. I'll cut back. I'll just, I needed a little bit. I needed to pick me up. You guys wanted energy. You got it. Coke. Not a sponsor. That would be fucking amazing. Coke, if you're listening, hi. I don't really get kids drunk. That was a joke. Please sponsor me. Anyhow. Getting back to it. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes. I'm not just looking away. It's like a small child. Like, hey, kid, how's it going? Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah. I said everything I wanted to say in that. Anyhow, it was very difficult. And I did try to socialize a little bit, but I have this problem, this thing that I've again mentioned before in the audio version. I refer to it as social double dutch. I'm no good at it. So social double dutch is when two people are having a conversation, they're engaging, they're both whipping their ropes in sync in unison, and they are just like, they have a pattern down. They have a social thing going on. And me, I'm struggling because I'm having this thing where I want to jump in, but I don't want to jump in too early or too late, because if I jump in too early or too late, everything's just going to fucking fall apart, and then that conversation diminishes and they walk away. And that's me most of the time. So I minimized my dialogue that night, and then I just peaced out. So it was a very uncomfortable 2 hours, and I endured, which was very fucking difficult for me because I was this close to having a panic attack. This close, very close. Not super close, but it was pretty good. So I asked a lot of people on social medias. I said, hey, what's your New Year's resolution? Specifically the one you haven't accomplished, the one that keeps rolling over every year, like 2017, 2018. This is the year that's going to be the thing when I finally do that stuff and such. And some of them were pretty like standard, like lose weight, get back into shape, start eating healthier. The ones that I really liked that stood out to me was dating, which is like, I get it, fucking great for you. That's the kind of thing where I don't want to say that you need a relationship because you really don't, but I understand the benefits of it. First of all, you get to split the bills, which is fantastic because you're like, cool, I only have to work half as much. That's probably not true, but what you could do is you find somebody to bounce ideas off of. Not even saying like, oh, this is how we can go into business together, but just sort of like, if you're always in your head, if you're the person that always listens to the voice in your head, you're gonna go a little crazy. And you're gonna start believing it. When the main voice that you're fucking hearing is the one in here, you're gonna think to yourself, okay, this guy's right. This guy knows everything, and all of his assumptions are correct and accurate. So you need other people to bounce off of. And in a relationship, you can do that because then you get to hear them, and then it kind of makes you feel like, okay, I'm part of a network. I'm part of a team here. So we can support each other, and we can bring each other back to reality. That's awesome. Affection, love, support, all of that stuff's great. Dating, I assume, I don't know if they mean casual or what, but yeah, I see it. You're going out, you're trying new things, and it's like when you go for a walk and you're always walking the same path at the park. Your body gets used to it, so sometimes you feel your mind dragging you in this direction because you're like, I'm going to go this way. Sometimes you turn around and you go back the other way, and part of you feels like, what the fuck am I doing? It's like, yes, I'm just going down another path. This might just be me, by the way. But when you reposition yourself and go in a different direction, even though it's the same place, you're seeing it from a different perspective, and it doesn't even need to be that like insightful by any means. But you're also kind of breaking yourself out of a routine, out of a habit. Just minimal stuff like that can really help you out. And dating, I assume, would be something like that. Get my abs back. Not me. I already have my abs. They're just very well hidden and protected. That I liked how specific that is. It wasn't lose weight. It was just get my abs back. So in my head, I'm picturing just like a really big dude with like great abs. And I wouldn't mind doing that. I think that'd be great if I just like kept all my weight on except for on the stomach, just like pure abs. That'd be fucking amazing. Everything else is just very doughy on me. But I would like to see that as well. It's good for your back. I'm the guy who, when I was about 20 pounds heavier, I would hold on to the bed frame and like pull myself up in the morning and be like, oh, thank God for arms. Otherwise, I'd be stuck in bed all day. Let's take a look here. What's the other one? Oh, these are the two that I wrote for myself. These are the ones that I'm going to actually try to see through. I can't guarantee it because it might not end up happening since it hasn't happened for a very long time. I decided I'm going to try to go back to college. And that's kind of a big one for me because I denied myself that opportunity so many times, and it is 100% my fault. It wasn't because opportunities weren't there. It's because I just did not take advantage. So let's dial it back. Let's go back to 2002. I just graduated from high school. I was already looking at college at the time, and I had taken some tests. I was eligible for taking these classes where I didn't have to start off at English 101. I could jump to 102 or some other shit. I'm sure I had to do some kind of prerequisite in there that needed to be done. But at the time, I thought I was going to be a writer, and I spent a lot of time focusing on that kind of thing. And then over the years, I think like, I don't know, whatever number of years, I started paying less and less attention to that kind of stuff. And then when I went back in to submit, because I was going to take a writing class, I had to go all the way back to the very beginning because my words no good so much after not learning things. And, you know, I was like, all right, fuck it. I got to start over from scratch. And I did this thing where I looked around. I was like, everybody's much younger than I am. I was 23. Why did I worry about that? You know, so I pieced out of there. Now I'm about to be 35. And I've decided I don't really care what anybody thinks, even though comedy's my aspiration and I want to get into these other things. I'd be an idiot to deny myself an opportunity to better myself. So that's going to be my thing. I'm hoping to actually get it done. And it's, by the way, 100% my fault because I did not do good at time management at that time. I still don't. But at the time, I was really, really bad at it. I was in a relationship that was just like, I was like, well, this is consuming a lot of my time, and I'd rather be in a relationship than go to school. School. Who does that? Nerds. She was in school. She was working, and she had no excuse. Even though she was dating me, she still managed to go through college, and I did not. So that was on me. I should have been better at that. Why didn't anybody fucking tell me? And then the other one, which is actually read one of the books that I own. I have several books that I've purchased, and I always recommend the same 3 because I realized that I've only read 3 books in the last maybe 10 years. And to some people, that's a lot. But I used to read books like crazy. And now I just like, I have a collection of them, and I don't get very far. I'll get like 4 chapters in. I've read like 3 books from different comedians where I was like, I'm going to follow this, and I'm going to do this, and it's going to educate me and teach me these things. So I apologize, Mark Maron. I will finish your book someday, and then I'll let you know what I think. I don't know Mark Maron. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. I have his book. He doesn't know me. This is no way me claiming that I know Mark Maron. He doesn't know who I am or give a shit, but he seems like a cool guy. Okay, so here's a tangible goal for me. And this is one where it's like, think about tangible goals. You know, it doesn't have to be a big deal like lose weight, get down, drop 100 pounds. If you can do that, awesome. The problem with setting really big goals is that it's like you just think about the end result, and you're just like, that's so far away. That's I won't be able to get there. That's not plausible. It's not possible for me. You got to think about the little steps in between to get you there. It's like, you know, you think of, okay, first I'm going to start going for walks around the block or start doing this and that. And eventually you'll get the gym membership. Eventually you'll do this and that. You cut back on certain things. If you're going to cut back on sugar and stuff like that, wean yourself off of it. Don't go cold turkey. I learned this the hard way. I deal with depression. I take my medication and all that stuff. But I decided I was going to be healthier, and I cut back on sugar, soda, stuff like that. And then I said, I'm also going to cut out bread. I didn't realize that bread was another source for sugar, which was something I relied on a lot. So when I went cold turkey with it, suddenly I'm not getting that euphoric response or the endorphins that come from it. And I start feeling really low and negative, and my depression's kind of getting worse. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And it was my body adjusting. So I wasn't necessarily not feeling depression, but I wasn't combating it. I had nothing that was like a comfort food or something that was making me feel better. And that kind of stuff really kind of built up, and it hit me really hard. So wean yourself off of that. You know, don't. It's some people have the ability to just go off of it perfectly without issue. Great for you, not for me. So take your time with it. Do it slowly, even if it's a long process. At least you're fucking doing it. That's what matters. But tangible goals. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna start listening to new music. My music and my playlist is so outdated. I don't like a lot of current music or artists, but I am denying myself some good artists. People keep talking about Kendrick Lamar being good. I wouldn't know. People always say, how do you not know? Dude, they play that music everywhere. Well, they don't play it on my iPod playlist. And they're like, dude, it's at the clubs. I don't go to the clubs. They play it at the radio station. I don't own a radio. So I used to be like all into music, and now I don't know much. I'm just like, look, all I know is that I listened to Semi-Charmed Life way too many times in 2018. So I'm going to update it a little bit. So send me music recommendations. I need them. I need something that I need to put into my phone and listen to regularly and obsess over for a while and then move on to something else. Because it's like, all right, between like the Foo Fighters, Strokes, Jets, the Rapture, I need to update my music to something way more current. Yeah, so send me your recommendations, because that's a little thing. Because again, getting back to the whole pattern repetition thing, and I gotta appreciate more music. A lot of people are making an effort to create stuff. I should at least take the time to give them a chance. Except for mumble rap, never. Let's see here. Oh, here's one that I like for comedians or aspiring comedians. So none of you know who I am. I am not by any means an established comic. I am a guy who started doing comedy 8 years ago by accident. It was a thing that I wrote down on my New Year's resolution. I said, I'm going to do this thing that I believe in. I think I'm kind of funny. I've been wanting to write some stuff, and I wonder whether or not other people would think I'm funny if I wrote it. And then I did it, and I was actually supporting another friend, and it was just like a misunderstanding that led to me trying comedy and then becoming hooked on it. Now, there's a thing that's, it's like the gym. When you first start going to the gym, you're like, I'm going to start hitting the gym. So the gym is packed the start of the year because everyone is signing up and they're all going for the first time. And people are annoyed because they're saying like, oh, I got to wait longer to get my workout in. Instead of knocking it out in 45 minutes, now it's closer to 2 hours. And I may not be able to do certain things today because of whatever. So that mentality really just feels like you're inconveniencing me right now because you're trying to do yourself better, which is what I was doing years ago when I was inconveniencing someone else. It's like, it doesn't matter when you started. Just fucking go out there and do it. Same thing with comedy. If you want to try something, just try it. Comedy's not even that hard. I mean, yeah, it's hard to get to be great at it, but it's not hard to get started. You know, go to websites and Google open mics in your area, and you'll find a lot of shit, a lot of open mics that are everywhere. And you can just hit them. And for me, it doesn't affect me in any way because I don't really hit open mics. So if your complaint is that they are getting in your way of doing open mics, then fucking stop doing that specific open mic or try to get a book show. I don't know. It's not super easy to get a book show unless you, whatever. I'm not going to get into the logistics of that. The point is, just try comedy. Just get behind a mic. You never know who's going to be the next Mitch Hedberg. You know, it's like, so there could be some great out there that's just right around the corner. It could be something. It could be. You're not gonna affect me. If I was the next whatever, you trying comedy wouldn't slow me down. I would have to make that effort to get myself to where I need to be. So it doesn't matter to me. If you want to try it, go out there and do it. Who the fuck gives a shit? I know I don't. But that's pretty much it. Just fucking go out there and do it. I think I'm gonna wrap this episode up. It's about 20 minutes ish. You guys will enjoy it. Follow me on stuff at I am Jose Chavez. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Venmo. Venmo me at 30 cents to let me know you care. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I am Jose Chavez. Website, awkwardaysocialcomedy.com. That's where I have all the previous episodes. You can find the episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, pretty much most podcast platforms. Look for Awkwardly Social Podcast. But if you hear 4 guys from Texas, it's not me. It's some other guys. But check it out. Again, my name is Jose Chavez. Thank you so much for listening or watching it, whatever. Either way, y'all take care, and I'm sure I'll be bugging you again real soon.